then he likes to come down, and he kind of makes that transition. So he goes up for a month. He rarely ever stays more than a month at high altitude because that's his routine, and that just is what works best for him.
Yeah. So into our second section here, final women's section of the 5,000. Dan, did you prefer altitude, heat training, or neither?
I lived, in Moscow, Idaho, and
right.
it was 1,800 feet, But no, I could feel the difference when I went to the Air Force Academy. I never got a chance to compete or train at Flagstaff, but I certainly felt, different when I went to New Mexico or Provo, Utah,
Yeah.
So honestly, I like jumping and sprinting in high altitude, but I ran 1,000 meters at Air Force and I didn't recover for half a day, So yeah, it's a shock when you're not training at altitude and you have to run a long distance race up there.
Jenna Hutchins is the top seed here in this second section from BYU, was 6th at the NCAA Outdoor in the 10,000 last year. Maddie Mooney with the pacing duties here. Pacific Athletics, looking to run 74s. So 75.5 through the 400. Zofia DudekStanford behind our pacer.
Well, this is interesting right away. This front group is threatening to get away here if these top three continue to follow the pacer. Already we're 2 minutes into this race and there's a 30-meter gap.
Yeah, this is as much as it's been strung out this early in the race. We've seen even the 3,000s. Dudek, 9th place in the Pac-12 1,500 last season outdoor. Top 70 finish at cross country nationals this past year. Just her second indoor race as well. .230 through 800. So whenever Mooney steps off, looks like it'll just be a two-person race, Stanford and BYU. Morgan Jensen kind of caught between two packs there. Always a little frustrating when you're in a heat with such great competition. Nearly 20 runners, and somehow you still find yourself solo for a while. Still plenty of time to reel these leaders in, though.
But your three leaders are the three fastest seed times coming in. Tracee Vanderwick, she has run 15:35, and then Dudek 15:30, and Hutchins 15:32 for Dudek, 15:30 for Hutchins. And the next fastest seed time is Zenacheptu, 15:40 in this group, and then you drop all the way back to 15:51. So really no surprise that these three are out in front like this, and then when Vanderwick steps away, it'll be your two fastest out front. We'll see though what they do.
75, 75, 74. The first three 400s.
Sorry, that's not Vanderwyck. That's Mooney doing the pacing. I saw the
Right,
unattached.
right.
Went right to Vanderwyck.
Jenna Hutchins, BYU junior. 14th place at BU's Terrier Classic 2 weeks ago. During the Big 12 Cross Country Championships, did not compete after that. 36th. But again, her BYU tenure highlighted by an All-American campaign in the 10,000 last outdoor season, 6th at the NCAA Outdoor Championships. Right on 5 for that 1600. And Mooney trying to pace this with 74s. Just over 3K to go. To be about 6:14. I didn't get a look at it. About 6:14 for the 2000s. About a 74 on that last lap.
Yep, high 613. You got it.
Mooney doing exactly what she was looking to do here, pacing wise. Maybe calling it right here. So just Dudek and Hutchins the rest of the way up front. We got just about half this race paced for him up front.
Leading the chase pack. So it's Morgan Jensen and Annastasia PetersUtah from BYU. Leading the chase group.
See if the pace adjusts at all. Dudek leading the way, 7:29. So another 75 here. Last 400. Again, just the second indoor race of the season for Dudek. Second for Hutchins as well. Haven't raced too much this indoor campaign after successful cross-country seasons.
Well, and interestingly enough, when we're looking at the descending order list, and I apologize if you said this already, but Dudek and Hutchins are right next to each other on the descending order list, number 16 and number 17. 1532 for Hutchins, 1533 for Dudek. And they were both in that same race in Boston. So familiar surroundings.
They're not going to get a huge pack to be in the middle of for this race. Just the two of them here. Hutchins continuing to just sit on Dudek, who was letting Mooney handle the pacing duties prior. is not what you love as a distance runner, to only have one person around you and have that person just sitting on you lap after lap. I have to think of a bit of a mental advantage going to Hutchins here, but Dudek's very accomplished in her own right, and again, personal bests right next to each other. It'll be fun to see how this one unfolds with 6 laps left to go.
Well, and I think when you're in this situation, you tend not to be racing as much as following orders. You know, your coach is giving you splits from the side, and you're trying to run the race that you set out to run. It's just like, hey, listen to me, listen to the times, hit the times. I'll tell you, Zofia Dudek from Stanford, just outstanding all-time personal best. She has run 9:08 for 3,000, but I'm always amazed at 1,500-meter runners who can move up to the 5K. But so Zofia Dudek, 4:19 for 1,500 meters, and she's run 15:32 here in the 5K. But that's outstanding range. And when you look at either one of those, you think, well, if she just spent more time running the 1,500, she'd probably be really, really good at that, or spent more time running the 5K. So some really good options as she grows, right, as she gets a little bit older.
Impressive range. These two went 2:32 the last 800. One up on 3,600 now. So the pace slowing just a tad. 76 that last 400, and now Hutchins is going to make a move here with just over 1K to go. If you're Dudek, you possibly don't mind this at all if you're able to match the pace. But although based on the last 2 laps, just the slightest of slowdowns by a second or two, second and a half.
Yeah, I think you're starting to see some fatigue in Zofia Dudek. She's just not, her tempo has been disrupted just a little bit. She doesn't look quite as fluid and smooth as she did 5 or 6 laps ago. And you know, I thought for a second when Hutchins went around, I thought, hey, this will be good for Dudek, but Hutchins is putting the pressure on.
Yeah.
Just like Cole Sprout, this is what you want to do to your competitors. Just put them out of their comfort zone just a little bit. Make them work just a little bit harder than they want to.
$75 for Hutchins that last lap.
But this is really mentally straining when you are out front like that and you know you have a few laps still left to go. You've got to just lock it in, and you got to concentrate on your breathing, concentrate on your form, get in a rhythm, and just don't let yourself break out of it.
Hutchins looks smooth, doesn't she?
Yeah, she really does. Great turnover, and she doesn't seem like she's overstraining everything. Really comfortable arm swing.
Very composed right here. Approaching 4,400. Two laps to go.
Yeah, she's
press the pedal down. 74.
She's just an absolute metronome right now, and maybe she's turning the tempo up just a little bit. And this is really considerate of the athletes that they're getting ready to lap. They move to the outside, give these athletes an opportunity to run really fast, let them on the rail. And yeah, Hutchins is just an absolute metronome right now.
That's Halle Hamilton, very cognizant, sliding into lane 2 for a moment at the Air Force Academy. 76, 75, 74, the last 3 400s for Jenna Hutchins of BYU. Coming up on the bell lap of a very well-run race. Dudek of Stanford in second. Heading into the final turn here, didn't get it. Didn't catch what that final 400 split was. But regardless, this is going to be Hutchins' race. Boy, it was Hutchins and Dudek for much of this after Mooney stepped off the track at 7 minutes. Jenna Hutchins, right around a personal best here. 15:31. One second off her PR as Dudek will come in at 43. They didn't waste any time breaking away from the pack, separating themselves. A fun battle between those two, but Hutchins just sat for another 5 or 6 laps. Once she made her move, there was no matching that from Zofia DudekStanford.
No, Jenna Hutchins, she showed really great fitness here. Only her second indoor meet of the season, and I think Coach Jill Deet knows that she's going to be ready for conference. Probably won't run her next week. Give her a week off and then get her ready for the Big 12 championships. A solid running there.
Have a lot of confidence heading into conference, where there will very likely be more bodies, be more runners to contend with. That will not be a bad thing. So on